पाथ एंड आई थिंक इस बात पे सब अग्री करेंगे, शाहजेब, साद और खतीजा, कि इस एक साल के अरसे ने हमें बहुत चेंज किया है और बहुत ज़बरदस्त अच्छा चेंज आया है हम में. सो वी विल ट्राई आवर बेस्ट कि हम आप लोगों को अच्छे से अच्छा गाइड कर सकें और बता सकें कि what just we got in this tenure, and hope that will be benefits for you. So over to you, Fatima.
Thank you so much. So let's just start the session without any further ado. Assalamu alaikum everyone, and welcome to DSC MUET 2020 chapter's first session on open-ended questions and Q&A and whatnot. I mean, a lot of things are planned up in this session for you guys to know about DSC, what is developer student clubs, and how could you build your relations and remaining in DSC, what is DSC solution challenge, and a lot more buckled up in the space. So basically, I'm Fatma Yusuf. I'm the new lead of DSC MUET campus. So basically, this tenure would be an amazing one because the first event we are kicking off with amazing people from all over Pakistan. And thank you so much, guys, for coming and joining us and giving our audience the knowledge about DSC, which I mean, they can do. So I had a lot of messages ka spam asking me, Fatma Baji, what exactly is DSC? Why should I join DSC? I mean, how will it grow me? What else lies inside DSC? And Baji, what exactly is this? I mean, so a lot of questions. I mean, so because of these questions, I thought to arrange something like this and call out people, and not only people but more honorable speakers for us, and who could join us together and tell our audience what was DSC for them. And yeah, I mean, there are so many questions, not going to lie even. अब बाजी का फर्ज बनता था कि सबको जवाबात ढूंढ के दे, तो what better way could it be to call पिछले साल के DSC leads. I mean, wow, I mean, literally, thank you so much for coming and joining us. So what better way could it be to start all of this session? So I would just give a quick intro about all of our speakers. Today we have with us, we have Hirabit Khan, DSC lead from MUET. We have Shahzeb Kazmi, DSC lead from UAT Texla, and Saad Irfan, DSC lead from UAT Lahore. Khatija Batul Gardezi, DSC lead from Women University Multan. So Hirabit Khan would, without any further ado, let's just ask her to tell you guys all about DSC, what exactly is DSC, and what is developer student clubs. I mean, tell it to our audience, they're eager to know about this. After all, itne sare messages ke baad to itna banta hai ki tell people about the DSC and developer student clubs. So over to you, Hirabit Khan from DSC MUET.
Hey everyone, I hope you all are doing great. Let me give you my introduction. My name is again Hirabit Khan और मैं मेहरान यूनिवर्सिटी से ही हूँ और मैं मेहरान यूनिवर्सिटी से ही हूँ और फाइनल ईयर स्टूडेंट हूँ और soon to going graduate. Before going to start session, I know यहाँ पर mostly Mehranians हैं और I want to tell you and will conclude this line in the end कि I am damn missing my team. To be very honest, I want to see Atib, I want to see Samad, I want to see Faz on the list, but they are not here. And literally it is making me a bit emotional because team नहीं थे हम ना, family बन गए थे. We make everything like a family. We were not humans, in fact we were just DSCians. We become DSCians, and to be very honest, that's the golden part of my life. So अब थोड़ा official होना पड़ेगा क्योंकि session है. So मैं slides share करूँगी कुछ और मैं कोशिश करूँगी कि मैं उनको बहुत जल्दी से wrap up करूँ क्योंकि मेरे mates भी हैं, उनको भी वक्त देना है. तो मैं कोशिश करूँगी जितना जल्दी मैं wrap up करूँ. अगर आवाज़ की कहीं distortion है, प्लीज फातिमा मुझे बता दीजिएगा. आप माइक खोल के, मैसेजेस में वैसे नहीं किसी के देख पाती, तो काइंडली आप वॉल्यूम से बता दीजिएगा. एंड सो लेट्स बिगिन ऑफिशियली. Can you see the screen?
Yes, for sure.
Okay. So I was DSC lead 2019 and हम पाकिस्तान के मैं शाजिद खदीजा इन साथ हम लोग पाकिस्तान के पहले बैच के डीएससी मेट्स हैं मतलब डीएससी लीड्स हैं एंड जो कहानी शुरू हुई वो हमसे शुरू हुई और वो कारवां आगे आ चुका है सो बेसिकली डीएससी क्या है वो तो हम जानते हैं बट डू यू नो कि जब आप स्माइल करते हैं तो आपकी आईब्रोज ऊपर नहीं हो सकती हो सकती हैं आई जस्ट वॉन्ट यू टू स्माइल अ बिट क्योंकि ये जो जर्नी है ये बहुत खूबसूरत है एंड आई वॉन्ट यू ऑल कि आप लोग स्माइल करते हुए इस सेशन को एंजॉय करें सो वेलकम टू डेवलपर स्टूडेंट क्लब इंफॉर्मेशन सेशन एंड सो व्हाट्स डेवलपर स्टूडेंट क्लब बहुत पढ़ाई वाली बातों से हटके मैं एक आप लोगों को कॉन्सेप्ट दे दूंगी डेवलपर स्टूडेंट क्लब इज अ क्लब विच मेक फॉर स्टूडेंट्स जहाँ पर बच्चे आते हैं ग्रुप बनता है रिगार्डलेस ऑफ एनी सुपियोरिटी और इंफियोरिटी कॉम्प्लेक्सेस हम सब लोग मिलते हैं काम करते हैं पढ़ते हैं फन करते हैं और चीज़ों को क्रिएट करते हैं फॉर द बेटर कम्युनिटी इफ आई एम गुड एट something and if Fatma is good at something and at the same time I am bad at something and Fatma is bad at something then I will help her in her bad and she will help me in my bad so developer student club कहीं ना कहीं जाके उन चीज़ों को फिक्स करता है उन लाइफ लाइफ प्रॉब्लम्स को फिक्स करता है जो कि हम लोग फेस कर रहे होते हैं सो व्हाट एक्चुअली गूगल सेड दैट how many of you want to work in tech after graduation जब हमसे ये सवाल किया गया था तो हमने भी यही कहा था कि हम सॉफ्टवेयर हाउस में जाएंगे बट सॉफ्टवेयर हाउस जाना वाज नॉट द एंड आपको पहले सॉफ्टवेयर हाउस जाने के लिए कुछ ना कुछ सीखना ज़रूरी है सो सॉफ्टवेयर हाउस जाने के लिए सीखना जो हमें ज़रूरी है कि हमें वो आता है हमें नहीं आता है हम यूनिवर्सिटी पढ़ते हैं हम कोर्सेज पढ़ते हैं लेकिन उन कोर्सेज में एक लिमिटेड हमारी क्या कह सकते हैं एक कोर्स होता है जो हम एक स्पेसिफिक मार्क्स के लिए और चीज़ों के लिए करते हैं और मार्क्स गेन करके CGPA या GPA हासिल कर लेते हैं बट द रियल थिंग इज दैट जो हम खुद रियली सीखते हैं पढ़ते हैं और क्रिएट करते हैं so that is the real tool that is the real thing which you have to learn by your own self and you are not going to learn it by your own self until and unless you shouldn't try so for a try you need a backup you need a team you need a friend you need a group of people who will understand you who will make it perfect as you want or as the community want so the general criteria is it just clean all the bridges between theory and practical हम जो पढ़ते हैं हम उसको implement कैसे करेंगे और कैसे हम नहीं कर सकते उसको implement so ज़रा एक किताबी बता दूं मैं आप लोगों को डेफिनेशन जो हमारे गूगल डीएससी की है वो यही है कि वो एक यूनिवर्सिटी बेस्ड हमारे पास एक प्रोग्राम होता है जिसमें स्टूडेंट्स को पिक किया जाता है एंड देन उनके बाद उनको कुछ ना कुछ नहीं काफ़ी सारी चीज़ें वो हमें प्रोवाइड करते हैं एंड द डीएससी लीड इज responsible to communicate to the community basically the DSC lead is a bridge between the community and the resources so that's why we make a club जहाँ पर क्लब मीडियम होता है ये नॉलेज होती है या वो चीज़ें जो हम तक नहीं है और ये हमारी क्या कहते हैं स्टूडेंट मेंबर होती है स्टूडेंट कम्युनिटी होती है जहाँ तक हम वो ब्रिज को कंप्लीट करते हैं यानी उस गैप को कंप्लीट करते हैं तो सिंपल सा फंडा है कि हम लोग गूगल की तरफ से लीड्स उठाए जाते हैं लीड्स का काम होता है टीम बनाना टीम बनती है हम लोग आपस में साथ पढ़ते हैं साथ ऑर्गेनाइज करवाते हैं साथ सीखते हैं और आगे के जितने लोग हैं उन सबको सिखाते हैं और उसके बाद हम ये कोशिश करते हैं कि एक ऐसा गोल अचीव करें एक ऐसी चीज अचीव करें जिससे this great impact in your community कि आप लोगों को एक स्टेप आगे लेके जा रहे हो डीएससी का गोल ये है कि हम कोई ना कोई ऐसी चीज इन दी एंड बनाते हैं जो कम्युनिटी को सर्व करती है बट दीज स्मॉल ब्लॉक्स एंड दीज स्मॉल चंक्स will join the chain of बड़ा impact ना. So हम ये छोटे छोटे impacts पे काम करते हैं, छोटी छोटी चीजों पे काम करते हैं, और उसके बाद we will get a again the बड़ा impact. वो बड़ा impact क्या होता है वो मेरे ख्याल से शाहजेब आपको अच्छा बता सकेंगे. तो अगर हम DSCs की बात की जाए या DSC लीड्स की बात की जाए, तो जरूरी नहीं है कि आपको गूगल की तरफ से कोई DSC लीड उठाएगा तो आप DSC लीड बनेंगे. हर कोई DSC लीड है. अगर मैं पास आउट हो गई हूँ, या इनफैक्ट अगर यहाँ पर कोई ऐसा बंदा है जो DSC लीड नहीं सिलेक्ट हुआ गूगल से, पर अगर उसके अंदर पैशन है, अगर ही वांट टू सर्व कम्युनिटी, अगर ही वांट टू बिल्ड द कम्युनिटी, इफ ही वांट टू कंट्रीब्यूट इन सोसाइटी, वो DSC लीड है. बहुत छोटा सा मसला है हमारा, सिर्फ पढ़ना है, पढ़ाना है और आगे पहुंचाना है. दिस इज द रियल DSC. हमें कम्युनिटी बिल्ड करनी है, एक वो कम्युनिटी जो पढ़ी लिखी हो, जो समझे, जो मसले रिकग्नाइज करे और उनको सॉल्व करे. और उनको जब सॉल्व करने का एक जो चैलेंज आता है तो वो हम पुर कर सकें, जो पाकिस्तान से हमारी एक DSC लीड ने पुर भी किया है. एंड ओके, शाहजेब बताएंगे. सो ये एक, मैं जो स्लाइड्स चला रही हूँ इनमें से आधी मैंने बनाई है और आधी मैंने किसी से बहुत इंस्पायर होकर ली थी. मैं बिल्कुल ऑनेस्ट रहूंगी, ये कुछ स्लाइड्स इनमें से ऐसी हैं जो मुझे बहुत हिट की थी जब मैं अपनी समिट पे थी DSC की, और मैंने पहले ही सोचा था कि मैं इनको कहीं ना कहीं यूज करने वाली हूँ. ये कोट मुझे बहुत अच्छी लगी थी. द सीक्रेट इन द एजुकेशन लाइज इन द रिस्पेक्ट ऑफ स्टूडेंट. अगर आप किसी को बेइज्जत करके पढ़ाओगे, हकीर करके सिखाओगे, वो कभी नहीं सीखेगा, उसका कॉन्फिडेंस खत्म हो जाएगा. पर अगर आप उसको हौसला देके कहोगे कि यार फॉर लूप लगा, चल जाएगा उसका, डेफिनेटली चल जाएगा. सो DSC इज ऑल अबाउट पेयर टू पेयर लर्निंग. मुझे कुछ आता था, मैं फातिमा को सिखा रही हूँ. मैं फातिमा का नाम यहाँ पर बार बार इसलिए कोट कर रही हूँ क्योंकि वो हमारी नेक्स्ट DSC लीड है, इसलिए मैं आप लोगों को बता दूँ. तो फातिमा इज आवर DSC लीड एंड मैं उन्हीं का नाम कोट करूंगी क्योंकि वो मेरे सामने और मेरे साथ काम करती हैं. तो अगर मुझे कोई चीज आती है, मैं फातिमा को सिखाऊंगी एंड फातिमा विल टीच अनदर वन, समीउल्लाह या दामनी. तो दिस इज ऑल अबाउट द पेयर टू पेयर लर्निंग. जो आपको आता है, थोड़ा सा भी आता है, आगे पहुंचाओ और एक ऐसी कम्युनिटी क्रिएट करो जिसके अंदर कोई सेल्फिशनेस ना हो, कोई सुपीरियरिटी इन्फीरियरिटी कॉम्प्लेक्सेस ना हो. वी ऑल आर वर्किंग, वी ऑल शुड वर्क लाइक सेल्फलेसली. सबके लिए प्रोजेक्ट्स हो, सीखना हो, उसके अंदर कोई हेल्प चाहिए हो, वी आर हेयर टू हेल्प यू. तो create impact on your community to solve problem and make it better. So let's build the community. मेरा टॉपिक बेसिकली ये था कि DSC क्या होता है और DSC में करना क्या होता है, उसका एजेंडा क्या है. तो मैं आपको एजेंडा शुरू से लेकर अब तक बताने की कोशिश कर रही हूँ, लेकिन फिर मैंने सोचा कि ये वाली चीज आना बहुत जरूरी है, विच इज दैट कि अपनी जो जर्नी हो ना, वो आप अपनी जर्नी को बहुत एंजॉय करिएगा. कैसे? अगर आप अकेले अकेले भागना चाहते हैं ना, मतलब अकेले अकेले सब करेंगे तो आप फास्ट तो जाएंगे लेकिन दूर तक नहीं जाएंगे, थक जाएंगे. लेकिन अगर आप दूर जाना चाहते हैं तो आपको पूरी की पूरी कम्युनिटी अपने साथ लेके चलनी पड़ेगी, जो लिटरली आपकी कम्युनिटी है. जो लोग आपसे मसला करें उनको ड्रॉप कर दें, और जो लोग आपके साथ चलना चाहें और शायद वो मोल्ड हो जाएं, जो बुरे लोग भी हो, तो उनको साथ लेके चलें और एक ऐसी कम्युनिटी बनाएं जहाँ पर आप रिलैक्स फील करें कि यार मैं यहाँ बोलते हुए डरूंगा नहीं. लाइक आई थिंक मुझे यहाँ पर एक चीज कोट करनी चाहिए. एक वाकया मेरे साथ हुआ था कि मैं मशीन लर्निंग पे एक प्रोजेक्ट बना रही थी. हमारा AI का एक सेमेस्टर प्रोजेक्ट था एंड आई वाज लाइक हेल स्टक इन दैट. और ना मुझे गूगल पे समझ आ रहा था, ना स्टैक ओवरफ्लो पे समझ में आ रहा था. फिर तब वहां से एक कहानी शुरू हुई. मैंने अपने कोर टीम में क्वेश्चन डाला कि मुझे ये मसला हो रहा है. मैं फेसबुक पे नहीं डालना चाहती थी क्योंकि मुझे लगता था कि लोग मुझे जज करेंगे कि यार इसको तो ये नहीं आता. तो ये जो जजमेंट स्टैंडर्ड्स है ना, DSC is going to knock that out. अगर तुम्हें नहीं आता, आज कल नहीं आएगा, हमें भी, हम भी गूगल ही करेंगे ना, सर्च करेंगे, बट वी विल मेक इट आउट. सो अगर आपको चलना है, अगर आपको सीखना है, तो आपको सबको साथ लेके चलना होगा. तो जी, एवरी एक्शन हैज एन इक्वल एंड ऑपोजिट रिएक्शन. ये हमने बचपन से सीखा है ना, कर्मा विल रिटर्न्स. तो यू आर द सोल ऑफ कम्युनिटी. अपनी कम्युनिटी को ग्रो करना है. पहले खुद को ग्रो करना चाहते हो तो पहले कम्युनिटी को ग्रो करना होगा, क्योंकि अगर आपकी सराउंडिंग्स अच्छी नहीं होगी ना, आप कभी भी आगे नहीं बढ़ सकते, ना आपको कोई बढ़ने देगा. मेरे ख्याल से अगर मैं, साथ, शाहजेब, खतीजा अपनी जगह पे इंफॉर्मेशन सेशंस नहीं करते, तो शायद हमारे यूनिवर्सिटी से कोई डीएससी लीड सेलेक्ट नहीं होता, और अगर डीएससी लीड सेलेक्ट नहीं होता कोई, तो अभी ये सेशन नहीं हो रहा होता. आई डोंट वांट टू से, बट मैंने अपने टाइम पे 2 से 3 इंफॉर्मेशन सेशंस किए थे कि डीएससी की एप्लीकेशन भर लो अल्लाह के वास्ते, और ये इस तरीके से होगा, इस तरीके से होगा, एंड फाइनली I am satisfied with my DSC lead that she is working, and now she is working on others. तो मुझे ये इत्मीनान है कि हम सब ने मिलके कम्युनिटी पे काम किया, और लिटरली अब हमने इनडायरेक्ट वे में अपने पेपर पे काम किया. सो टिल दैट, ला 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 ला. अच्छा ठीक है, एक चीज मैं आप लोगों को बताना चाहती थी कि कंक्लूड करना चाहती थी बेसिकली. ओके, मेरा कंप्यूटर रुक गया है. यार मेरी सारी स्लाइड्स नहीं आई हैं, रुको एक मिनट. कैन यू प्लीज वेट फॉर अ व्हाइल, मेरी सारी स्लाइड्स नहीं आई हैं. हाइट थी और ये कि रूल्स ऑफ कम्युनिटी बिल्डिंग. अगर आप डीएससी लीड नहीं है एंड इफ यू वांट टू बी द पार्ट, क्या मैं अजान के लिए रुक सकती हूँ? अजान हो रही है मेरी तरफ. सो लेट्स जॉइन अगेन. आई एम रियली सॉरी, आई नो यहाँ पर काफी सारे लोगों को नमाज के लिए जाना होगा, लेकिन मैं कोशिश करूंगी कि मैं ये वाला पार्ट थोड़ा जल्दी कैप्चर कर लूँ. लेट्स समराइज इट अ बिट कि डीएससी इज लाइक कि आप लोग ज्वाइन हो, आप लोग सीखें, आगे सिखाएं, और एक चेन बनाए कम्युनिटी की, एक चेन बनाए इम्पैक्ट की. एंड पर उस इम्पैक्ट को बनाने के लिए आपको क्या करना होगा, उस कम्युनिटी को बनाने के लिए आपको क्या करना होगा. जैसे फातिमा कर रही है, फातिमा इज ट्राइंग टू मेक अ कम्युनिटी. if you want to contribute yourself, if you want your contribution in that, just join with any dsc chapter and try to build something. So again I want to quote कि हमने जब अपनी समिट की थी तो हम काफी इंस्पायर हुए थे. एक आस्क हर के 2 दिन पहले एमन से कि एमन मुझे सजेस्ट करो कि मैं चाह रही हूँ कि मैं कुछ अच्छा बताऊं उन्हें. तो उन्होंने मुझे कहा था कि मैं अपनी एक स्लाइड्स दे रही हूँ, तुम वो शेयर करो. तो मैं उनकी स्लाइड में कुछ उसके अंदर अपनी एडिटिंग के साथ कुछ शेयर करूंगी. एंड दिस इज द थिंग व्हिच आई वाज फॉलोइंग सिंस 1 ईयर. मैंने अपनी समिट पे जितना सीखा था ना, जिंदगी में शायद सीखा था, लेकिन इतना नहीं सीखा था. सो रूल्स ऑफ कम्युनिटी बिल्डिंग इज लाइक, चल जाओ, फॉल इन लव बाय चांस. अगर आपके पास कोई भी चीज आई है, बाय चांस आई है, डरो नहीं उससे, उसको ट्राई करो, उसको एटलीस्ट ट्राई करो. अल्लाह की कसम, मैंने अपना डीएससी का फॉर्म 15 मिनट पहले भरा था और मैं पता नहीं कैसे सिलेक्ट हुए, आई डोंट नो लिटरली. बट मैंने उसके साथ मैथ्स किया, और इनफैक्ट हम सब ने उसके साथ मैथ्स किया, एंड वी ऑल आर हियर एट अ गुड प्लेस. मैं टाइम नहीं निकाल सकता, मैं कुछ नहीं कर सकता, मेरे पास वक्त नहीं है, मेरे सेमेस्टर प्रोजेक्ट्स है, मेरे एग्जाम्स है. इफ यू थिंक this is your kind of thing, this is your passion, this could be your grooming thing, तो उसको एक दफा ट्राई करो and fall in love by chance, and then make it fall in love with the choice. This is the team. इसके अंदर मेरी आधी टीम है. मेरी पूरी टीम कभी भी तस्वीर में नहीं आ सकी क्योंकि वो बेचारे बहुत काम कर रहे थे. हर बार कोई ना कोई एक आध बंदा मिस हो जाता था, क्योंकि वो या तो वो माइक समेट रहा होता था, या तो वो बच्चों को निकाल रहा होता था, वो किसी को बिरयानी के डब्बे पकड़ा रहे. तो मेरे पास मेरी पूरी टीम की नहीं है, लेकिन दिस इज द पिक्चर जिसके अंदर मेरी पूरी टीम है. एंड लिटरली this was my choice, and literally I fall in love with them, with all of them. Find the bright minds. हो सकता है आप उन लोगों को चुने जिनको आपको नहीं लगता कि वो नहीं कर सकते, but what just you want to do, just what you have to do is trust them and share your knowledge. जितना भी आप कर सकते हो. कोई अगर आपके पास आता है जो काफी विलिंग है बट वो उसको पता कुछ नहीं है, तो कोई बात नहीं, आप सिखाएं. आप जितना सिखाएंगे वो वैसे ही आगे सिखाएगा, एंड देन द चेन इज कंटिन्यू. एंड टू बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट, आई सी माई डीएससी लीड इज आउटस्टैंडिंग. उसका काम, उसकी चीजें, उसकी हर चीज. मैं यहाँ पर बार बार फातिमा को इसलिए मेंशन कर रही हूँ कि शी जस्ट ब्लूड माई माइंड ना. मतलब इस बंदी ने विद इन अ मंथ इतना अच्छा काम किया है, इतनी अच्छी तरीके से हर चीज को हैंडल किया है कि वी we should appreciate her for this session. Thank you so much, Fatma, once again for this session and doing this all stuff. And you are doing very great job. So learn with fun and enjoy the work. इतना मजा करो कि वो काम ही ना लगे, वो काम आपके लिए फन बन जाए. And again, this is my team, जिसको मैं बहुत याद कर रही हूँ अभी. So इन शॉर्ट, हेल्प करो, कोलैबोरेट करो. जितना आप एक दूसरे के साथ हेल्प करोगे उतनी आप कोलैबोरेशन करोगे. यहाँ पर मैं एक चीज आपको बहुत क्लियर कर दूं कि हेल्प डजंट मीन लाइक कि अगर मेरे पास कोई प्रोजेक्ट है और मेरे साथ फातिमा का कोई प्रोजेक्ट है तो हम लोग हेल्प कर रहे हैं, कोलैबोरेट कर रहे हैं. अगर आप सोसाइटीज में हैं एंड इफ यू आर डूइंग सोसाइटीशिप, तो आप अपनी सोसाइटीज को कोलैबोरेट कर सकते हैं विदाउट एनी गर्ज, विदाउट एनी superiority inferiority complex. You just have to work on the good things and yeah, give your impact to the community again and make others fall in love. डीएससी समिट देख के सब लोगों को प्यार आ गया था. आई नो दैट सब लोग चाह रहे थे इस साल के डीएससी लीड के उनकी भी जो समिट हो वो लाइव हो यानी फिजिकल हो, बट वो नहीं हो सकी. बट टू बी वेरी ऑनेस्ट, if I talk about my team and if I talk about DSC leads of my tenure, they all made a very great impact on me. If I talk about साद, साद मुझे वो दिन नहीं भूलता है जब हम लोग रात को गए हुए थे चाय पीने, मैं, खतीजा और तुम बैठे हुए, और हम लोगों ने पता नहीं क्या बातें की थी. एंड वी वर लाइक यार एरasmus करना है या हमें यूग्रेड करना है. एंड वी हैड अ वेरी गुड टॉक. वो बड़ा शॉर्ट टाइम था, रात हो रही थी, हम सब लोग चाय पीने गए थे 42 डीएससी लीड्स, पर हमने बहुत कुछ सीखा था उस शॉर्ट टाइम में. तो जो भी इवेंट्स करो, छोटे इवेंट्स करो, बड़े इवेंट्स करो, कोई एक साथ बैठ के बात करो, कोई छोटे से टॉपिक पे, टेक्निकल टॉपिक पे बात करो या इंटरपर्सनल स्किल्स पे बात करो, बट ट्राई टू गिव योर बेस्ट, ट्राई टू गिव गुड थिंग्स टू अदर्स. ऐसी वाइब्स लेके चलो कि लगे कि यार ये डीएससी वाले हैं और ये हमेशा कोशिश करते हैं बेटरमेंट की. सो व्हाट वर द 5 रूल्स? fall in love with learning, find the bright minds, collaborate, enjoy the work, make others fall in love and create impact on community. वैसे रूल्स फॉलो करना फन नहीं है, बट वो करो जो तुम्हें अच्छा लगता है, जितना अच्छा लगता है, जैसे अच्छा लगता है, और कोशिश करो कि उसको अपने हिसाब से मोल्ड कर लो या उसके हिसाब से आप मोल्ड हो जाओ जो आपके लिए बेहतर हो और जो आपके इर्द गिर्द के लिए बेहतर हो. So again, if you want to go far, go alone. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. La 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 la. This was the end जो पहले हो चुका है. So over to you, Fatma, and this is all from my side. If you have any question regarding my presentation, just let me know. So I will answer you people.
With Khan, our DSC ex-DSC lead from DSC MUET actually. I'm that you
क्या स्नैपचैट बना रही हूँ, बोलो बोलो.
so appreciate your efforts on making everyone know about DSC. Now we move on to Sadir Khan, who would be taking our favorite question. That indeed it was and focus on team building and the interpersonal skills. So Irfan,
Can you guys hear see my screen? Okay. So I'm going to, start this small presentation talk with first introducing myself. Like I told you earlier that my name is Saad. I am getting my bachelor's in computer sciences from the University of Engineering and Technology. As a former DSC lead, I am also a student learning ambassador at Microsoft. I am an open sourcer. I have authored several open source tools. I am an open source contributor, and I'm also a technical writer. Like I have written hundreds of blogs for companies like Insta, WP Engine, etc. Other than that, I am a Potterhead. If you folks know what that means, I am also, and occasionally I like to play a guitar or something like this. So that's pretty much about me. And I'm going to kickstart this whole presentation with first busting a bubble. Like there's a very common myth in CSCE and other other fields like related to computer, that everything in these fields are about about coding. Like everything in these fields are like about coding. You have to do so much code, etc. And many people, especially sophomore, who are like sophomore and who are like freshmen, usually thinks this way, like they have to code every single day of their life. But there's a small portion, there's a big thing that they miss out. And to be very honest, universities often don't teach this, that there's a very big this includes a very big portion of our domain, that there's a that we have to learn how to market ourselves, how to create a brand around our name. And people don't usually know about it. Like if I tell you folks about, like if you search MSAT Dev on Google, you would find at least 3 to 4 pages of Google about me, and people usually don't know about it. So I'm just I'm going to give you an example. Like let's say you folks are like, you have built an open source software, something like this, okay? And but no one knows who you are. No one ever heard of you. Would you think they would be going to you, like they're going to your profile and downloading that software, something like this? Do you think that your software would be a success? In my opinion, what I have seen so far, like 90 to 95% of the time, your software won't be a big success, probably because people usually don't even open the link sent by someone who didn't even know. So in my proper, if I would say that, they won't even look at your software, because if they don't know you, they don't know who you are, something like this. So I'm just bursting this bubble that CSCE and SE is not all about coding. There's a big portion that includes, marketing yourself, networking, connections, etc., etc., etc. And I'm going to, talk about a little bit more ahead of it. So this is the agenda that we are going to talk about today. I would, talk about networking, then I would move forward to connections, and then teamwork, and how we'll, link each of them. And I will also try to relate with you folks. Like if I would share my experience about what I saw and what I experienced during my time as a DS lead. So how does it all work? The question is still there. Like I'm going to, present a situation, and I want you folks to, type the answer, whatever comes in your mind in the chat box. Like, for example, you are sitting alone. No, you're not. You're sitting in among, I guess, 50 to 60 people that you have never met. You never knew them. You haven't talked to them. Like they are complete strangers to you. What would you do in this situation? What do you do? What do you do? What would you do? You can just chat, write an answer in the chat box, something like this. Let me get the chat box. Chat. I want to see people. Yeah. Try talking to them. Okay. Anyone? Anything else? Ask them what excites them. Awesome. Okay. So basically, like the response I got, basically what comes to human mind is that you try to connect with them, you try to network with them, you try to talk with them and try to find the common ground. Let's say all of them are from the technical background, you try to talk about technical stuff, then you move on to universities, etc., etc., etc. You try to have some kind of common ground, you try to find some kind of common ground, and then you try to talk about more and more about the stuff you found some familiar. So this whole scenario, everything about it is called networking. But there's still a big question, like why should you network? Like I can just stick to myself. I no one is talking to me. I'm not talking to anyone. I'm in full solo mode. Lone wolf to be exact. Then why should I need to network? I'm going to to answer this question, I'm going to go back when I burst your bubble about the CSCE and SE is not all about coding, etc. It's also about marketing yourself, about your brand, to associate brand with your name. Like if people hear about my name, like people hear about Saad Irfan, they know that, yeah, okay, I'm a I'm a web developer. I have, I have done this much open source work. Everything I would build, etc., would be fun or would be, reliable, etc. So to answer to this question, why should you network? Is basically networking allows you to build connections, and that connections eventually helps you get opportunities. And if people knows you, if people know who you are, if what you are doing, and such etc stuff, then they often they will use your product or something. Like if you have written some brilliant piece of software, and and people know who you are, people know people that have networked with you, you have tried to approach them, etc. They would probably, your software would be eventually a success because people will try them out. So again, I'm going to give you an example here, why you should network, etc. Like Hira pointed out that how she and I had a talk during the summit, etc. So yeah, when we had a talk, I got so inspired from her. She was a brilliant person, and she was really wonderful, etc. And I networked with her. She later helped me during the summit with some stuff, etc. too. So yeah, and we tried to stay in touch as we could, because we both were busy in our lives, etc. And a couple of weeks back, she reached out to me and asked me whether I would be able to give this talk in the info session of MUET, etc. And I told her that yes, definitely I would be honored. Definitely I would love to give a talk here in this info session. And at the time, this is a huge opportunity. Like when you are like talking as a speaker, when someone invites you, this is a huge opportunity for you overall for the profile building and branding or something like this. This is not my topic for now, so I won't go into details about it. So basically, at the time during my DSC summit last year, I networked with her, I connected with her, and she, we had a lot in common. We talked a lot during the, again, वही चाय वाला scene जहाँ पे हम चाय पे हमने रोड पे बैठ के हम बातें कर रहे थे. So मतलब at that moment, we connected. So yeah. So again, this whole networking, there's still a question like what does it lead to, and I answered that previously. Like eventually this whole networking, etc., it eventually leads to connections, friends. You eventually find so many amazing people that you reach them out when you need some help or something like this. You need to reach them out, they reach you out for opportunities. Because let's say I'm a web developer, someone is an Android developer, but someone gets an opportunity to work with Android web stuff, etc. They reach out to me, present me the opportunity that yeah, you are a web developer, you should go for it, etc. Connections helps you a lot. Connections, and at the same time I can say friends, etc. You over the time you build friendships. So why am I talking all these about networking, connections? Like what's the common thing? Basically, before I want to come to this, okay, how DSC helps you build relationships. I want to uh, highlight the importance of networking. I want to shed some light on why we should network, etc. So the question is there, how DSC helps you build relationships. What I have seen in my time, like when I was a DSC lead, and like I was in the first cohort, and we all of us had to build the community from scratch. We had to get permission, etc. And when I was building the community, I had members from all around the university. Like I had members from mechanical engineering department, I had members from mechatronics, civil engineering, my own department, that was CS. I have from members from even architectural engineering. But like I had a very diverse community. And that community, when they came together, when I was like giving a session, or we're giving a hands-on workshop, organizing something, etc., they used to come together and they used to talk with each other. Eventually they built relationships outside of their own department. They had like and that relationships helped them a lot, which I'm going to talk about a little bit after this. So basically those relationships, etc., that they build over the time, that turns into teams, these relations. Because it's human psychology that everyone wants to work with people that they or whom they like when you probably when a professor or a teacher asks you to uh, build groups, etc., for a group project, etc., they you automatically go to your friend and ask him, yeah, okay, how we should make a group. So this is a human psychology. And when we had so much diversity and people got to know each other, they eventually turned into teams, and they've started working in teams. And that teams build something awesome. Like they had the teamwork they pulled. Like I remember there was a team and the team had, I guess, a civil engineer, a mechanical engineer, a computer science student. I'm not sure about computer science or computer CE. I'm not exactly sure, but there were three people, and they built something so awesome that they won the Hull Prize from UET Lahore. And eventually, like the teamwork they had, because they didn't know each other before DSE, they have never heard of each other, they just had a common platform. So what I'm trying to say is everything is connected. Like you need to intense, build relationships, build connections. DSE is a great platform where you can meet a lot of like-minded people with common goals, have a passion for hang out together, and they eventually, that friendship, that connection turns into teams, and that teams when build something, that something is so extraordinary. Like I gave you example that the team, that built during the DSC, in the DSC that they, come up with during the DSC time, they won Hull Prize from UET Lahore. So everything is connected. And on this note, I am going to end my small talk, and I am, over to Fatma. And if you folks have any question, you folks can, reach out to me. Everywhere I use same username, that is Ansar Dev. If you folks are interested in, uh, using my or seeing my open source softwares, then every GitHub I use the same username and everywhere. So thank you so much, Fatma. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Saad, for joining us today. And it was great hearing you, all of your, achievements and all of your experience that you shared. And now I hope that our audience will work on it and, yeah, I mean, grow together and make something great. So another, DC lead from the Women University, Multan. Over to you, Khadija.
Okay. Hello everyone. This is me, Khadija Batul Gadezi from Multan, a rising junior from the Women University Multan. I'm a web developer trainee at TechCoro. TechCoro is basically a flashback program of the circle, which main aim is to empower women and bring them into the technology world. So my main agenda is for today talk is benefits. Benefits of being DS lead. What I what it gave me and what it can give you. Okay. Benefits of being DSC lead is huge. So many things you can get. And first of all, when you apply and you got selected, you're going to get access to the Google developer sources and opportunities for free. Like you want to explore machine learning, Kotlin, or the Flutter, they are providing you free courses over there, so you can explore them and learn through them. And definitely when you selected, you're going to lead a community at your university, and Google experts are going to mentor you, going to help you, going to guide you if you need any help, like running a community or etc. So like you are going to then you are going to be a grow professionally as well personally. Like you will reach out to the speakers if you want to, if you want to invite them, okay, please come do a session at our uh, university, I'm organizing that session, can you please come? So they will come, and but will it help you? It will grow you professionally and yeah, personally as well. Like it gave me confidence and to speaking in front of everyone. It gave me uh, um, uh, leading a community alone is not, it's so difficult, so you need team members which helps you, which help you to organize events and to reach out to your HOD. So teamwork is must in community. Then community learning. it was a 1 year program, so you are going to learn a lot of things, but you are going to teach the other person, but other person knows they are going to teach you. There's no shame in between. I don't think so. So yeah, and what I used to invite my seniors to come and join my session. If they want to talk, they should talk. They should talk about their project, but their final year project. So they are so happy. They really come and join my sessions and help me to understand my students, understand my community members more. And yeah, the next thing benefit is the awesome swags and goodies. Yeah, Google provides so many awesome swags and goodies to everyone. If you are DSC lead, definitely you are having them. When we went to our summit, Google gave us so many swags at there. And recently we got a graduation kit as well. It's amazing and it's a very memorable for us. I still keeping it in my dress. And yeah, and what you learn in a whole year with Google technologies, you are going to do what you are going to do. You are going to build solutions for your community. But you are saying, looking like this is a problem in our community. How can we solve that problem? So you are going to build solution with the Google technologies. And yeah, last benefit and the amazing benefit is you are going to get a 3 days summit before your final year. And you are going to be Islamabad or capital city of the Pakistan, talented, and they are so ready to help you like the women tech makers and the Google Developer Expert Program and few others. You are going to know a lot of them. This is the link. You can just open it. I'm just giving 1 minute so you can copy this link and you just open it on your browser and you can watch it later. So this on the left side, there is the second day of our summit and all our DSC leads are standing over there. I'm just missing all of them. And on the right side, there's the swag I still have from DSC summit as well from graduation kit. And side, I really want to make it little for you. Any question, I would love to answer any question do you have.
Thank you so much, Khadija, for joining us and giving everyone community building and about DSC. I am like literally in a position to say a lot of things right here for you guys. Participants about DSC is like something huge. I owe you guys a lot of things now. So we are going on to the most, that is DSC Solution Challenge. And I would like Shahzeb to continue everything related to DSC Solution Challenge this year and, you know, benefit it and, you know, do something for the society as well. So over to you, Shahzeb.
Yeah, thank you, Fatma. Okay, so first, Saad, would you just share the slides? Okay, perfect. Okay, so hi everyone, and hopefully I would be able to follow those amazing speakers before me. They have really set the bar really high, so I'll try. So hi, my name is Shazib Kasmi. I am talking to you from Islamabad, and don't let me fool you, but I'm originally from Karachi, so Hyderabad, Karachi. I know the stuff there. So without further ado, I will be talking about the DSC Global Solution Challenge, and this is the most, you can say, most impactful part and the aspect of the entire DSC program. And I implore you all to just be a part of this challenge. So, what is this challenge all about? Saad, please, next slide. Okay, so before I start, I would just like to make it clear like what we will be talking about today because you don't really think that ab kya baat karega ye. So we are going to talk about these 5 to 6 points. First, I'll start with the overview of what solution challenge is all about. इसमें होता क्या, नाम बड़ा fancy है but है क्या. Then we will talk about last year's winning challenge. Uh, there was one there was one submission from Pakistan that won the solution challenge competition, so we'll be talking about that. Then I will talk to you about solution design framework. Now don't be scared about this very complicated word, it's very easy, I'll talk about it. Then finally we'll talk about the winning prize. Like if we are taking part in some competition, we obviously want something at the end of it. So what are we going to get? The what's the price, so I'll talk about that. And lastly, why this matters. Like we don't want to waste our time, we have a lot of things on our hand. So is solution challenge really worth it? Is it really worth our efforts? I'll talk about that. So let's start. Next. Okay, so solution challenge developer student clubs. What is it? When does it start? And who can participate? So this is a global challenge where every developer student club from around the world, they participate in this competition, and this is irrespective of any country. Like students from UK, Brazil, China, South Asia region, entire region, Pakistan, India, they all participate in this challenge. And and at the end of it, we have 10 winners. Okay, so this is what is it about. Then who can participate? So no yeah so every student who has got a developer student club in their chapter in their university is eligible to participate in this competition. Okay, there is no limit on कि आप जो है undergrad student हो, graduate student हो. You just have to have an active developer student club at your campus, and you can participate in this competition. Another thing is that and this is sort of a misconception that to participate in this competition, you have to you have to participate in a team. Well, this misconception was actually cleared last year when India से जो जो क्या कहेंगे winning solution था. So that team comprised of just one guy. So there is no limit on your team limits. Like you can be a one-man army and you can participate in this competition. And lastly, when does it start? So this challenge is you can say announced at the beginning of January, and it runs till 31st March. So you have about 3 months to work on your products, to work on your solution, which you want to submit in this challenge. So what we are trying to do in this challenge is we want to tackle our local problems in our society. So before me, all the speakers have told what is the technical benefits of this program. So this challenge is actually going to test you that have you actually learned in this entire year. Have you actually learned any Google technology which you can apply and solve a problem in your local community. So next slide, I will give you an example. So this was my this was my submission for last year's solution challenge. So I made an app and a website uh, called Tulpa, and the app was made by using Flutter. So Flutter is not taught in any university around the world. So how the hell was I able to make the app? So the answer is DSC, and I didn't actually learn DSC for I didn't actually learn Flutter for myself. I learned Flutter to give a session on it because I wanted my peers and my DSC members to learn about Flutter. So this drove me to learn this new Google technology, which is awesome, by the way. Like, I will give you a short intro of Flutter. Like, what is it? It's one language. It's one framework actually to rule them all. Like you can build apps from a single code base for Android, iOS, web, desktop. So basically if you master this one framework, you can deploy products for every platform out there. So this was my solution challenge. What I was trying to do is I was trying to fight the stigma in our community, how students cannot go out and work for themselves or jobs, like how this culture is not really you can say common in our country, but it's very common in countries abroad. So what Tulva was doing is it was trying to normalize this entire culture by copying the brand and by copying the model of Uber, Kareem. So that's how we were trying to normalize student employment. Next. So unfortunately, we were not able to win this year because the competition was fierce. I think there were about 400 submissions from around the world and only 10 global winners. So the chances were low, but I'll talk about that later. So this was the last year's winner, Worthy Walk from Pakistan. So this is 1 out of 10 winners that won. Okay, so they actually made an app called Worthy Walk, and what it did is it actually made your fitness sort of a game. So what they did is they rewarded you for actually taking care of yourself and for like going out and taking a run. So that's what they did, and they were able to win this year's challenge. So what did they get? Next slide. So what were they able to get? Like, they won, that's amazing, but what was the benefit? So we'll talk about that later. Let's keep it a bit of a suspense. So before that, I'll talk about the solution design framework. So this is a very fancy title. What is it about? So this is actually a framework which all people would use for this challenge. So it's divided into four steps. First is you have to identify the problem which you want to tackle, right? So this is pretty simple. The second is that you have to identify a perfect solution for that problem. And now finding that perfect solution is quite tough because this is sort of a process where you have to go out and you have to ask people like how we can solve their problem. So identifying solution is the most key thing, because there are many problems out there. There are not many solutions. That's your job. Then we have designing the interface. Now, you have a solution, but that's abstract. It's nothing real. So that's where design comes in. Design is actually the only domain which bridges the gap between the abstract and the real things, right? So in this part, you have to design your UI, and you have to design your UX of your product, be that application or web. So that's designing. And lastly, you have to build that technology or design that technology using any of the Google technologies. So one limitation of this entire solution challenge is that there should be at least one Google technology that should be used in that product. So if you are making a mobile-based solution, then you can use Android or Flutter. If you are going for web, then you can use Flutter and what's that, AMP. So you can use these two things, and same goes for the backend stuff, Firebase, GCP, all of that. There are many Google products out there, so you can use. So you have to use at least one of them in your products. Then you will be eligible to apply in this competition. That's the only requirement. Also, that you have to have a DSC in your campus. These two requirements. That's it. And I think 18 above as well. There are three requirements. Sorry. So these were all the steps, the solution design framework. So now you know what this is. You can just go out after this session and show off to your friends that I know about social solution design framework. Next. I am getting some questions. I will answer all of these at the end of my thing. So the winning prize. So the first thing is that a fully funded trip to the Google Mountain View HQ. And what do we do there? Like it's not a field trip. So you will have the opportunity to pitch your winning projects to actual Google teams. Now, what's the advantage of this? So first of all, visiting that campus is a lifetime experience. Okay, so I actually believe that I don't have to explain to you that much. Then the opportunity to pitch projects to Googlers. So Googlers are innovators, right? So they have a very keen eye for people who really want to make a change in our world. So if they actually like your project, so then they would I so then they would, I'm sure that they would like to invest in your project and just support it, or just incubate it in their startups or something like that. So you will get support if your project pitch goes well. So who doesn't want to work at Google? Like, so that's the winning prize. And I think that for an undergrad student, it doesn't get any better than this. Like, while you are in your undergrad, you are networking and talking to people at a company where basically every student wants to end up. So that's the winning prize. So it's like you will be substantially compensated for your efforts in this competition. Next. Okay, so why does it matter? Well, I have actually given you the reason to win, but if you don't win, then it's not a total waste. Like, you have an example in front of you. I didn't win, but I am very glad that I participated. So why am I so happy? Am I crazy? No. So first thing is that I was able to learn new technology. As I said, I learned Flutter and Firebase because of this challenge. Otherwise, I would not have learned this technology because it's not offered in our university, right? So I learned new technology, and I am continuing to learn new technology because I can still participate in this challenge. I will be participating in this year, next year. So this actually gives you the reason, or it motivates you to participate in this challenge. So learn new technologies. That's the key one reason why this challenge matters. Second is real world experience. So I don't know that if you know about the importance of world experience, real world experience. So let me tell you, yeah, like, you get your experience by doing internships, right? But getting those internships requires experience itself. Where do you get that experience to get experience? So you get that from hackathons like this. So that brings me to this one point, that this solution challenge is actually like a hackathon where you have to find a problem and you have to design a solution and then build it. So the building part is new, but it's a hackathon which provides you real world experience. So I can actually say right now that before doing an internship this summer, I had some world experience which eventually led me to get that internship. So it gives you a real world experience to show on your resume and adds that Google name on your CV as well, which opens the eyes of every recruiter. Lastly, there's your build your own startup. So at the end of the solution challenge, you have a fully functioning product at your hands, or if not a fully functioning product, still a pretty functional product. And what you can do after this challenge is you can continue to work on that thing, and then incubate it in any incubator of our country, be that NIC, Nest.io. So you can pitch that because you would have been trained in that technology which you use to build that, and hopefully it can be a start of your own startup of your own business. And I would like to hush that one stereotype out there, like you should not start your business right after graduation, and it's absolutely correct. You should have some experience before you start your own business, but it doesn't hurt to have some side business options at your side as an alternative, just so you can tempt your potential employers, like you have got options. Okay, you don't need them. So you can actually use these startups as your bargaining chips or sort of thing. And so these are the three biggest reasons which I could come up. There are about 1,000 more, but that would take about months to cover that. So let's move forward. So I think that was all about the solution challenge. Now I'll be about all the philosophical thing, because I was motivated by all the speakers, and literally I added those things right now during this session. So I live by these two phrases mostly. So these are super powerful phrases, and they can just take fear out of everything and make you something indestructible. First one is, so what? So if you feel like you have done a lot and now you are slacking off, but you want to motivate yourself further, so you just have to say this one phrase to yourself: so what? And if you are competitive like me, then you would be instantly triggered and be like, okay, I'm nothing right now. I need to get on and start working. So every time you are feeling like, okay, this is enough, I'm amazing now, just say that, so what? I'm amazing, so what? This will just take the air out of that inflated ego which you have temporarily, right? The second one is, why not? So this phrase you should add whenever you are thinking of not taking a risk. Okay, so this is a phrase which I said to myself when I was going to let the DSC application deadline pass away last year. But then I said, why not? Like, I should apply this year. What's the worst that could happen? I would be rejected, right? But at least I would have tried. So I applied one day before the deadline. And again, as surprising that was the case for Hira as well. So I am sure that she asked why not to herself as well, and that's why she applied. So
15 मिनट
these
पहले
are, yeah.
15 मिनट पहले सबमिट किया था.
Yeah, so I actually applied about 7 hours in my and while sitting in my university library, and I was like, अच्छा okay, फूक मारी दुआ पढ़ के and हो गया जैसे होना था. So yeah, so these are the two phrases which I live by, and just use them in your life and you will see a change. Okay, next. So just go and build something. Like in this program, you are not just getting all the technical information which you need, right? You are also getting an opportunity to put all those things which you learn all the year round into practice and to do some real good. Because let me tell you, like helping someone else and easing someone else's problem is the and just getting their thanks back, it's better than any money, and it says a lot when you realize that at this point in your life when you actually need money, because all students are broke. So uh, so so as soon as you realize this, that money is not everything, impact is everything, respect is everything, and solving people's problems is what gets you to make it big. Because let me tell you, every big person out there, be that Facebook, Microsoft, Amazon, they all started to solve a problem, right? And look at them now. So it all starts from one problem, and and a perfect solution to solve that problem. More importantly, because there are many problems out there, right? But your solution has to be unique, it has to be right on the mark, and then you will make big, inshallah. So I think that would be all for the solution challenge. I had some questions, I would be answering that in the chat. Meantime, I can pass it on to Fatma. Thank you guys for listening.
About a DSC. I mean, I was a beginner too. I didn't know a lot of stuff. You know, you told, you have to learn, you have to I mean, you were representing UET Textile, and you're a fellow lead, the new lead, Talha Salman, and also the active one, like you are. And yeah, I mean, thank you so much for telling us all about the DSC Solution Challenge. Bring something to society, I would be a part of it too, inshallah. So, in the end, I would just years take their time out, their valuable time out for us, for students of MUET, all the other. We're thankful to you guys to show up and to to deliver your lovely explanations about DSC.
जरूरी है because this is the thing, this is the calculation that हम कितना impact बना सकते हैं और कितना impact बनाया जा सकता है next year के लिए. So your feedback or your attendance is going to be marked in at the level of Google. So kindly please आप ये form भरिएगा और मेरे ख्याल से इतना काफी है. फातिमा, over to you.
Yeah, and I actually had one question here, which was about from Essen Javed, and he asked like, what about Kickstart challenge? So I think Saad should be the person to answer this because he is into this coding thing better than me. So Saad, will you answer this Kickstart thing?
श्योर अच्छा यार बेसिकली किकस्टार्ट बेसिकली कंपटीशन है गूगल का जो आई गेस एक साल में 8 दफ़ा होता है, उसके 8 राउंड्स होते हैं. सो यू कैन पार्टिसिपेट इन दैट कंपटीशन. वो रिसेंटली भी अभी आई गेस लास्ट वीक या शायद कल हुआ है, आई एम नॉट एग्जैक्टली श्योर फिलहाल. सो होता ये हाँ एग्जैक्टली. सो बेसिकली होता ये है कि आपके 3 घंटे होते हैं, आपको 3 क्वेश्चंस होते हैं आई गेस, तो 3 घंटे होते हैं. तो यू नीड टू कंप्लीट as many questions as you can. Basically kickstart का ना एक special hidden फायदा है जो usually don't know about it, that Google क्या करता है, Google ना बहुत तरीकों से आपको जज करता है. Google usually ना आपको आपने अप्लाई भी ना किया Google में, but still Google reaches out to you कि यार we want to recruit you or something like this, so we want to you hire as an intern, etc. So basically I have a friend who who participated a lot in Kickstart, etc. And she उसको ना हुआ क्या कि Google reached out to her and offered her an internship where you can't even apply. It's an invite only program. That was Google Code U. So and because उसका Kickstart में वो participate करती थी और वो बहुत ज़्यादा इस side पे interested थी, तो Google ने इस तरह से reach out किया. तो I would suggest कि यार as Kickstart में, if to be very honest, Kickstart questions are quite difficult. Like I remember I have participated in Kickstart for like 5 or 6 times, and only once I would be able to, even solve question one. But that doesn't discourage me. You need to make sure that you are consistent, because they are seeing a lot of stuff that we don't know कि यार वो किस base पे हमें judge कर रहे हैं. Probably they are seeing how consistent we are. Probably they are seeing हमारी logic building skills क्या हैं. But I would suggest कि यार definitely you folks should participate in that competition. और eventually अगर अच्छा होता है Google आपको जरा आप नजर में आ जाते हो तो probably they will reach you out. And plus coding skills भी improve होंगे.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so if anyone has any question तो आप लोग प्लीज अपना माइक खोल सकते हैं और सवाल कर सकते हैं. जो यहाँ पर हमारे पास साद है, मैं आपको बता दूं, मैं तो इतनी कोडर नहीं हूँ. साद इज वेरी मच इनटू द कोड. अगर आपको गेटअप के कोई सवाल आते हैं आप इनसे पूछ सकते हैं. ही इज टू गुड एट इट. फातिमा से आप हर तरह का सवाल कर सकते हैं. इस बंदी को क्या कुछ है जो नहीं पता है, वो भले वुमेन के अकॉर्डिंग कोई स्कॉलरशिप हो या वो अपने फर्स्ट ईयर में इसने इतने सारी चीजों में हाथ डाला हुआ है. और माइक्रोसॉफ्ट हो, वो शी लव टेक हो, शी इज एवरीवेयर. शी इज लिटरली डूइंग अ वेरी गुड जॉब. सो अगर आपको कोई भी न्यू एप्लीकेशन के बारे में जानना है तो, और भी हमारे डीएससी मेट्स हैं, बट शी इज आल्सो डूइंग अ वेरी ग्रेट जॉब. शाहजेब मैं आपसे एक रिक्वेस्ट करना चाहूंगी, अगर आप तुलबा की वीडियो दिखा दें हमें एक बार प्लीज.
Okay.
और उसके अलावा अगर कोई और वीडियो आपके पास, बिकॉज शाहजेब इज वेरी गुड एट वीडियो मेकिंग, वीडियो ग्राफिंग. मतलब हम लोग तो ऑफ हो गए थे समिट पे और हम लोग साइनिंग एग्जैक्टली. अच्छा हम
हमारा
सब
लेवल
लोग
नहीं है
ये
वैसा.
नहीं बिल्कुल, हम लोग समिट पे ये कह रहे थे सब लोग अपनी इंट्रोडक्शन, जो हमारी एक गई थी ना इंट्रोडक्शन वीडियो, वो दिखाते हैं. गलती से शाहजेब ने पहले दिखा दी कहीं किसी मौके पे ना, तो हम लोग इसकी देखने के बाद हम लोगों ने अपनी डिलीट कर दी. लिटरली मैंने
हम
समिट
सेंड
पे
नहीं
डिलीट
करना
की
चाहते
अपनी.
थे. हम सेंड नहीं, हम लोगों ने हाइड कर दी जाके, अनलिस्टेड
अच्छा
कर
ये
दी
नहीं
कि
पता
नहीं
था
यार.
मुझे.
यार मैंने तो समिट पे ऑफ
यार
की अपनी.
अच्छा. मुझे बता देते यार, मैं
लिटरली
आई
तुम्हारी
वुड हैव
वीडियो.
एडेड.
तुमने हमें एपिसोड है जिसको मैं देख के पता नहीं कितनी बार रो चुकी हूँ, लेकिन इसने पूरा का पूरा हमारा समिट वीलॉग किया था और अमेजिंग वीडियोस हैं. आप लोग उसको देखिएगा और बहुत एंजॉय करेंगे. शाहजेब अपनी वीडियो लगा दीजिए.
हाँ आई हैव इट. अच्छा प्रोमो
तुलबा
देखते हैं यहाँ पे, ऐड देखना है. 2 थी ना,
जो थोड़ा कम अच्छा हो, क्योंकि हम थोड़े ना टेंशन में आ जाते हैं.
तो ऐड देख लो यार. आवाज आ रही है?
आई डोंट नो.
आवाज नहीं आ रही?
नहीं आवाज नहीं आ रही शाहजेब.
ओके. अब हाउ डू आई ऐड दी?
नीचे एक ऑप्शन होता है ऐड द साउंड ऑफ सिस्टम समथिंग करके, शेयर स्क्रीन करते वक्त. ये देख रहे हैं आप लोग यूट्यूब पे
हाँ ये
प्लेलिस्ट में
रहा.
एपिसोड 3 फर्स्ट सेलिब्रिटीज एंड टॉक्स. ये इनके एपिसोड्स हैं, आप लोग देखिएगा. ये बहुत अच्छी पूरी की पूरी सीक्वेंस जो इसने 5 बनाई है, 5 एपिसोड, वो बहुत अच्छी है.
कैन यू हियर इट नाउ?
हाँ आ रही आवाज आ रही है.
Yeah, we can hear it.
Unemployment in Pakistan has troubled me for a couple of years now, and I always wanted to do something about this issue. And with the Google Solution Challenge, I finally got a chance to do something for it using tech. And what we did with my team is that we developed a platform called Tulba, whose entire purpose is to connect students with jobs, and just students. This platform is specifically designed to eradicate student unemployment in Pakistan. Once you are in, you will be greeted with a dashboard where all your jobs will be displayed, and all you have to do is click on the job that you want to apply, and then tap that apply button on the bottom side of the page, and your profile which you mentioned in your application form would be submitted to that employer. So That's it. Student connected with the job. And what we aim to do through this platform is to normalize student employment in Pakistan, because it is considered sort of a taboo and people who work for themselves are sort of looked down upon, and I don't accept that. We should not accept that, because student employment is a very important source of income for personal projects and your hobbies. So I want this culture to be very common in Pakistan, like how Kareem and Uber have normalized the transport industry in Pakistan. Tulba aims to do the same for student employment, and we hope to see good results in the coming years once we launch this product. And all we can ask from you guys is that you just have to cooperate. That's it.
शाहजेब, ये पीछे तुमने स्क्रीन कैसे लगा